Welcome to Most Famous We Are Not, and today we are speaking to one of the main editors of one of the biggest media companies in content, Mogul Moves. He's edited some of Mogul's biggest projects like GP Explorer, where massive creators all over France got to race to compete against each other in one of the biggest content events in the world, where he edited and shot the event himself, and it garnered over 2.2 million views with his creative control. And recently, and most famously, he edited for Mogul's biggest recurring series yet, Tip to Tip, which amassed nearly 30 million views across 17 episodes with daily episodes and live editing. And he also produces a podcast with two of the most popular streamers of Twitch, Pokimane and Lily Pichu. Ladies and gentlemen, CameronDiro.
Yo, what's up? That's a very gracious intro there. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm one of the editors at Mogul. There's four of us, and there's three really great ones. I'm amongst the ranks, but yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I watched the video of you guys explaining how Tip to Tip works, and I want to do a brief intermission and talk about what Tip to Tip is, because we talk about it a lot, especially in the beginning of this video. Tip to Tip is a series where Ludwig and Michael, two huge content creators, they go to a different country. They start at the bottom of a country and try to get to the top. So Tip to Tip. What makes it so entertaining is that they have to learn a whole new language. So last year they were in Japan and they had to learn Japanese, and this year they were in China and they had to learn Chinese. You get to see how the land progresses from dialects from the south to north, the different architecture, the different practices from each city to city. They have to ask random people directions, and the language that they learn to speak is asked, so you get some really funny translations. And Cameron was part of a team of editors. We'll talk about that later in the video. But that's what Tip to Tip is. It's a series where Michael and Ludwig start at the bottom of the country and go to the top of the country. And what made it so fascinating is that there were daily episodes. So there were 16 episodes or 17 episodes, and they were coming out every day. Okay, so yeah, that's what Tip to Tip is. Obviously, it's better if you guys watch the series, but if you haven't watched the series, that's what it is, and that's what we're talking about. Okay, thank you. Back to the video. So elaborate. I mean, you guys are so talented, the way y'all delegate and the way it works.
So yeah, cool. Everyone's very, very strong at what they do. I'm lucky to be a part of a team that's that good. So, I'm just happy I get to be there and be a part of stuff, but glory to them. I just make some shit sometimes. They're the real.
Make some really good shit sometimes, most times, if not all. Okay. First thing I want to talk about is obviously Tip to Tip. The iron's pretty hot. One of y'all's biggest projects and one of the most successful ones. Could you tell me the origins of Tip to Tip and how has it changed going from this year from last year?
Yeah, I think the origins are two friends just had this idea to drive bikes across Japan. I don't know if there was ever the thought that it would turn into this. I don't know if that was ever an idea. I think they just kind of had this thing that they could do together, and they decided to send it. I was lucky enough to be picked to go and try and edit that for them, and it was a journey and it was tough, but I think it was received so well and they had so much fun that they immediately wanted to do another one. I think that's an experience that you can't really replicate. You can't like fabricate it. You know what I mean? Like, it was just so awesome for them that they just instantly wanted to do it again. And I think they instantly want to do it again next year too. So that's awesome. But yeah, it really was that was the makings of it. It was just an idea that came up that Lud and Michael discussed that, we kind of talked about as a team and figured out how to adapt it to YouTube and make it unique. And that birthed Tip to Tip.
And was it Ludwig's idea initially?
Yeah. I think him and Michael had it for a while. I think like maybe a year and a half, 2 years before we even went. They were talking about riding motorcycles across China or Japan. I think the idea changed here and there, but I think the core of it was always the same. It was just two dudes wanted to do something cool.
A question for like the equipment. How many like cameras, batteries, and like laptops did y'all take to China?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like 4 laptops just for the editing side. Then you got like, they both had 360s, backup 360s. They had nano cameras. They had DSLRs. They had a lot. Mics, helmet cams. It was, I think any given day, like 6 potential cameras could be rolling and covering the whole day.
The travel for you guys, like for the crew, how did y'all decide what hotels to go in? Does Lud and Mike go to a hotel and then y'all just go to the same one after they finish their day?
Yeah, most of the time, if we can, it's just easiest to pick up the footage from them there. So we kind of just head wherever they're heading. That's all. Dan and Alicia are two people who work on the team that are the secret backbone of Tip to Tip that just keep everything together. They kind of plan out depending on where they're heading and give us an idea where to go. So me and the other editors working can just turn off our brains and edit all day and not have to think about anything. So they kind of get us alive and get us to where we need to go.
Right. And talking about the crew, there's, just correct me if I'm wrong, there's Dan, the producer, and then obviously Cam, the editor, Shaky D, which was a editor in the States, and then Alicia, which was a producer and also a translator. Is there any more to the role that like maybe we don't know about, or the role for all of them?
Yeah. I mean, there was them. We had Andrew and Shake in the States. They were the one that were taking the original influx of videos and cutting them down to be manageable to then be taken over by David Wall. He is a godly editor. He would rip through footage faster than anyone I've seen and set up something that I could turn into a final video each day. Alicia was kind of like the tracker and manager and kept us alive and kept us where we needed to go and handled all the bookings and everything that we needed. And Dan was the tech guy and the camera guy and the footage dumper and the footage organizer and any other job he needed to pick up at a moment's notice to make sure the series worked. It's a lot, but everyone was insanely well and insanely capable of doing whatever they needed to make sure it happened. So it was pretty awesome to see.
Talk to me about the editing process, like who touches the footage, like if it's day 6 and who touches the footage first, how does it like cut down the line and end up in your hands for you to upload it?
Yeah, so it starts with Lud and Michael recording anywhere from 5 to 8 hours every day of whatever they did. And then it goes to either Shake or Andrew, our overseas editors, who would sync up the footage, get down an initial cut, make it a manageable thing to watch and upload, or so that David can take over. He could cut it down further. He creates like an hour and a half-ish cut that I then take and cut down to the final like 30 to 50 minutes, depending on where the video ends up. So there's at any time 3 editors working on one video. Last year it was just me for the first part, and then for the last like 10 episodes it was 2 editors. So we stepped it up this year because it was just too hard last year. We needed more help.
Like, golly, that's a lot of editing. And Dan, which is the person that touches it before you, that cuts it down to about like 90 minutes. Is he like sorting through like a storyline for the video?
So, yeah, David, he takes it down, and we kind of have an idea of the story because it's honestly what happens. You know what I mean? Like we don't really get to influence it much at all. We don't influence it all. Like what happens is what happens. So the story's kind of written itself, and he kind of highlights story beats for me, gives me a couple different options that I can decide to take it for like the final cut if I want to show this conversation or this conversation. And he's the one who lays it all out neatly, so I don't have to go through stuff that would be more time consuming. If he can just go and look at it and be like, yeah, we don't need this, he cuts it out, and that's just one less thing I have to worry about every day.
Oh, that's convenient. How did you notice like the dialect and the food changed, like from the southmost part all the way up to the northmost part, or was there any changes you saw?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can definitely tell. I think it shows a little bit in the videos that like just the way things are said and the different words that they learn working effectively in some areas, not effectively in other areas, and some things just never worked at all. But I think definitely there's like, that was one of the cool things about China is there's so many different things to try and like experience that I never had the chance to before. And having Alicia there who knows what's going on was also a huge help. But for us, for me especially, there wasn't too much of a change from bottom to top because I mean, I just got takeout and ate videos, my scenery was kind of the same, but it was cool. It was very different to feel like the temperature change, which is the big one that gets you. It's like really hot in the south and then it's really cold in the north. And you just got to deal with that, pack as best you can for the change. But yeah, I think the videos showcase probably how unique it is because you're going through such a large area. Like there's just vast change between where you first start out. It's kind of like if you drive across the US, it's like if you start in South Florida, it's going to be a much different vibe when you make it to like Minnesota or something.
Yeah, way different. I watched the show. I was with Ina Yu, which is a Chinese Canadian. which we're doing like live reactions to tip to tip. And watching her, like, it's like watching like your favorite show on Amazon Prime with like the X-ray, like you can see all the actors and all the like the background. And she was like explaining what every sign means. And watching tip to tip progress and seeing how different signs were like prioritizing the health of the people there, it's like kind of like dystopian living in the States. It's so lovely and like, you know, refreshing to see a country like prioritizes people like first and foremost over everything. And those signs were all throughout China. Like it wasn't just one singular part. And that's why I thought that's what makes China so cool.
Oh, and that's cool. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, I can't read Chinese too effectively or Mandarin, so there's a lot of things I missed. But I was going back and watching through some of her reactions. That's also a cool thing that there's somebody who can add something so extensively, like entertaining, and a whole new perspective that we can't give. Like, I mean, I'll never be able to give that perspective. So I think that's something awesome that Tips have created this year is like the ability for people to do stuff like that. It was really awesome.
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely. It like recontextualizes everything. But part of like mostly what tip to tip is like at its bones is not knowing and discovering. So there's something to this. But it was pretty good. All right. And then last question. What were you guys doing like when y'all landed in China? Were y'all like getting the motorcycles, getting license, or like testing cameras? What was the like the fielding before y'all started recording?
I think I can't speak much on this because Dan and Alicia were the backbones that got this done. David went a little early too. I kind of went in as late as I could, and it was the team graciously let me come in a little late. I flew in the day before it all started just to not be gone for a long time, and they accommodated that. But yeah, they got all the camera gear ready, got everything together, tested it out, got all the SD cards and all the drives ready so that we can have it all edited. They got the bikes ordered, sent over. It was they crushed it. They did it in like a day. Alicia went crazy, got everything organized. Dan came in, got all the footage stuff organized. It's quite a team effort, and it's just I can't imagine. I'm glad I get to just go out there and edit videos because I couldn't do half the stuff they're doing. So it's very nice they could take that over.
Yeah, the team seems like it works like so fluidly. Okay, now this is what I want to get into. All right, talking about you. How did you get started into the content space?
I think honestly, I think I've always kind of been a watcher and noticed it and just partaked in like my own side of just watching streams, watching YouTube videos, watching all that. There was a time in the past where, you know, I got more into Twitch. I decided maybe streaming would be a cool thing. I didn't really go too deep into that, but I met just some people in the space that were streamers who kind of helped create like this little community. And then from that, I met, I got introduced to Melee, and I had something I already kind of watched, like Smash Bros, but I never went to like any events. And then I started going to more events, and I met a couple different people. I think the original biggest influence was this guy named Polite SL. He invited me out to Austin I told him I wanted to edit stuff. He like come out to Austin, see if you can find some work. Like we'll hang out. I know some people who need jobs. Like I'll try and help you get some work. And then I went to Austin. I started editing for a Smash player named Josh, man. He was like my first job. He's the GOAT. He was the bridge to start doing more things. I worked with Point Crow, Jimmy here, a whole bunch of different creators. Through knowing Polite, I met a bunch of friends. I met this guy named Radstads. He works at Mogul. I met Shake Drizzle. He works at Mogul. And they kind of just bridged the gap eventually to starting to work under short form for Lud, which I think it was just a long path of getting really lucky and meeting really cool people who were willing to help me and give me an opportunity. And yeah, I was just really lucky.
Were you just cutting videos, or like were you like making montages for him in like the Smash creator?
No, yeah, I kind of just cut a few videos for him. He wanted to make YouTube videos, and he was just a cool dude. So I made a couple videos around his tournaments and around different streams he did. And pretty quickly, my friends Polite got me a job with Point Crow, which was crazy cool. And yeah, Radstads and Polite just slowly found me more work over the course of a year until I was able to edit full time. And then they came in clutch, and brought my name up when Lud was looking for a short film editor, and then I was at Mogul.
That's nice. That's nice. How did you learn how to get so good at editing, and when did you know you were good enough to like get a job?
I think that's a hard question because I don't think I'm exceptionally good at editing now. I think there's so many things that I don't know how to do and I wish I did. And I think that's something that always happens with editors because there's so many paths and programs and different things. Like
there's always another level.
Barely know. Yeah, there's always another level. But I think for me, I just had fun with it. And I would make a video and somebody liked it. And I was like, cool, I'll make another one. Like, I don't think I've ever thought I'm ready now to like get into this higher version of editing. I think I just kept trying to make things that I thought were cool and somebody liked them enough to let me make another one. And yeah, I think that's all I can really say on that. It's like, I don't think I'm that good of an editor. I think it's more so like I just have been given footage that's easy to work with and easy to make cool. And I happen to work for really awesome people that gave me the opportunity to make stuff and enjoyed it and let me keep making stuff. And it just all built up eventually.
Yeah, so you're right. Yeah, definitely. Definitely right. Like with editing or pretty much anything, you're never really ready. Like you can do like, I guess like certifications, you can get like cosign from people, but you're never ready until you're in it and you just get better just publicly, I guess. And that's, yeah, especially like watching Japan to China, it's a lot better. The editing's a lot better. And like obviously the team is a lot better. I'm sure there's like more artistic vision and there's more people involved, but there's definitely like a drastic jump in improvement from the first to the second one.
Yeah,
okay. Of course. Okay, so how far out do you guys, I'm talking about Mogul, how far out do you guys plan out content? Because I know it's in a row.
I think that varies. I think it's like sometimes it depends on events, depends on videos. It kind of really is like I don't know. I think it's fluid. Yeah, I think everyone works really hard at the jobs that they have to make awesome stuff. I think there's, like the staple events we have that take longer to plan, and there's teams working on it, and we have like an awesome team of Liza and Dan and Alicia, and there's so many people, Kelby, and the Mogul is like this awesome infrastructure that just works honestly all the time to make these different events. I think I honestly have, like I was saying with the tip to tip, I kind of have this lucky thing where I get to focus on the work that I have to do, and everyone around us is so good at what they do that they can just kind of take care of stuff, and it gives the editors and me the ability to focus on the stuff we need to focus on. But they handle things, and it's really, really impressive to see. Like we have a CS event coming up this week, and they came in, they have their meetings, they get it all done. I walked into the office today, everything looks awesome, and it's just like, it's cool to see that this idea that Lud comes up with, or this idea that they come up with as a team, can just be brought completely to fruition in the exact way that everyone imagined it by this team of people. I wish I had more to say on like how that process actually goes, but I think my division's a little separate. I get to kind of watch these things come together, but I don't really know a lot about the in-depths behind the scenes stuff. I just know that I think there's not a project in the world that our team couldn't tackle. Our production team is unbelievable.
Yeah. You're saying more than enough. This is more than enough. But I assume, is it just that like you have like certain events, like, okay, like for 2020, well, I guess 2026, like for the annual events, like you have obviously tip to tip is going to happen. And then you got like streamer events or streamer games going to happen. Like that stuff is marked on the calendar, but like mostly it's pretty fluid as to what could happen in each month.
Yeah, I think like, so tip to tip is like a good example this year. Like we knew the idea and we knew that we were going to do it, and we figured out where we were going to do it. Lud kind of had his back and forth. He went live a couple of times. He talked about it. He figured out for sure where he wants to go. And then, the plan kind of came through there. I think I don't really know how they go about picking the dates or what works for them. I think it's just a convo between probably Lud and Michael and what fits in their time frames and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty quick. I think it was like, there was a lot of ideas, a lot of planning, a lot of thought. And then once the dates were locked, there was like a month. Dan and Alicia went crazy. They got everything together that we needed. And we got there and we were good. I think the fluidity comes because it's kind of hard to fully lock things in the streamer space. You know, you're kind of planning for hopes, and you're kind of like trying to aim around an event or like a time frame, and sometimes you hit it and you nail it on the head, sometimes you move it a little bit, but that's what makes content so fun to work in, I think, is that it is like so adaptable and
so new, really refreshing, like anything. You'll never do the same thing twice. Okay, what about like the G1 Explore event? Like, how do y'all plan for these master produce like events like that? Obviously, tip to tip's like 3 weeks, but
I think like, well, GP Explorer, that was all Squeezy. Squeezy is like the hero of that event. He made one of the coolest things I've ever seen. He has a whole team in France, and he comes up with the event. Lud was invited out, so I think that was probably one of our least planned events. We kind of just, me, Lud, and Michael, and our Christian, who works at Mogul as well. He's also a hidden backbone. He does so much stuff, and you've seen him on stream a couple of times if you've seen him around. But we just hopped on a plane and filmed the video. Luckily, in moments like that, when it's him participating in another creators event, there's not too much we have to do on our end.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that I think is why those videos sometimes feel so like authentic. Maybe is a good word for it, because it really is just, I just hold the camera up in Lud's face and I hope he says something funny, and that's usually how it's made.
Yeah. More to that. Like, how much is, like, obviously you recorded and you edited like the whole series, the whole trip. How did you plan on like the story for that, or like editing or vlogging? Is it just like Ludwig and you just record that?
Yeah, I think Lud is just Lud, and I think he can just make things awesome just by how he is on camera and how he is from all his years of making this kind of stuff. I think the story is a little fun. I get to like mess with it and kind of create this reality around what happened, because most time we're trying to make an authentic product. So I can't lie. I can't come up with all these things that like didn't happen. So it's more so like maybe reordering or rebalancing certain aspects of the story to make it feel like one solid product. But yeah, a lot of it is just like when Lud and Michael are together, or when Lud's alone and we're making stuff together, they're just really good at. I put the camera up and they know what to say and do. It's crazy. I don't know how they do it, but it's impressive.
Yeah, those two are special, especially like because they're like very similar, very different, Ludwig and Michael, and like at their core, they're pretty much the same person, like charismatic, curious, empathetic, and funny. And that just works on camera so nicely. Now, you talked a lot about Mogul, and I think Mogul moves is like the future of business, especially like they're gonna replace like real media companies. Mogul Moves is a media company where they all produce YouTube videos, all types of things. And how does like delegation work between Ludwig, like Ludwin, the second channel, thumbnails, vlogs, editing streams? Is there different like sections for each facet of Mogul Moves?
I guess it's like, yeah, there's kind of just like one big team, and I think,
how many people is it?
We have Radstads, Shake, Polite, me, Dan, Ian, Porty, Totema. There's a big group of us. Some of us are editors, some of us are thumbnail artists. We all just kind of work towards the end goal. I think Ludwin it's a special place where like there's a lot more stuff that can be put up on there, because you know, Lud just it's kind of like our place to take the stream content that he creates and move it over to a channel where it can just exist all the time for people to watch. And I think Ian, Porty, and Daniel do a great job of keeping that all together and all flowing. Yeah, I think it's like there's meetings and we just talk about it, and everyone figures out what's going to go where and who needs to do it and who wants to do it. And there's like a big priority for like, if there's a video you want to do, you get to do it and you get to make it, and you get to have fun with it. And that's like something we always try and do, is like create fun things and make it fun. Like that's probably the best part, is that the videos don't ever feel bad. They don't ever feel hard to edit. They're not like this difficult thing. Like we just get to make cool stuff. And I think everyone feels fortunate for that, because it's just an awesome thing.
It sounds like a utopia. Beautiful.
Yeah, and rose-colored glasses. I think I just feel super lucky all the time to be able to work here. So I think it's hard to say anything negatively because it really is just cool. Like I just get to do something cool every day that I'm happy to do, and that's that's a lucky thing.
I don't think they're rose colored. I think they're just glasses. Like I think the environment is just that like fulfilling. If I'm an editor and like, cause like obviously Dream Dog to me is like something challenging and something, that changes. And it sounds like you have creative control. And obviously I can't imagine having like Ludwig owning a business and it being a bad working environment. So I think everything you're saying is just how it is. It's pretty cool. Obviously, I probably know the answer to this question, or I could like guess or assume. But what is it like working for Ludwig?
Yeah, I think it's very fulfilling and rewarding, and it's cool to get the opportunity to do stuff that you're passionate about. And I think that's something that Lud prioritizes, is like if there's something that you feel strongly towards and you want to do and you want to make, like that's always taken into account and it's like discussed. And I think that was a big reason why I got to do this Japan thing, because I rode motorcycles a lot. I liked the idea of the trip. It was just something that seemed really awesome, and Lud heard that and gave me the opportunity. And I think that's something that is pretty consistent, is like just an environment where you can make stuff that you're passionate about because of the guy who's running the ship, I think.
Yeah. Outside of, Ludwig the boss, what do you think makes him so special as a creator himself?
I think just from like being a person who watched him, being a fan, to being able to work with him and see these things on both ends of the spectrum, I think he's just somebody who's really good at creating a compelling reason to watch, like whether that be something he's adding like a challenge or he's just telling a story. There's always a reason that you want to watch. You feel like you don't want to miss out on what's going to be said next, is kind of the way that I always viewed his streams back when I was watching them outside of work. Is it was like, I don't want to miss something cool. And I think that's a skill that he's developed and he has gotten better at even over the years I've been working with him. And it's just a way of keeping people engaged in what might happen, because you don't know what's going to come next. You don't know what he's going to make. And he adds a reason to want to watch it because he keeps it so fresh and fun and exciting,
Yeah, there's a long list of why I think Ludwig is successful. First of all, like as a person, obviously charisma is probably like the number one thing to describe Ludwig. Like he can pull a room together. He's super authentic, super real. Like he does not care about talking about how much money he made of certain events. He's funny. And obviously he could delegate really well. I mean, the team runs super fluid. I mean, Ludwig. You got stuff like the tip to tip was super successful, and you need a team for something like that. And lastly, like as a person, like even the way he embraces like his girlfriend, Cutie, like I feel like he's a good role model for anybody trying to get in the content space or just to be a man, I'll be honest. Video format that Mogul liked but had to move on because it wasn't performing well.
If it's something cool and people like it and Lud likes it and we like it, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. I think that's always like the most important thing.
So it's not really statistically based. Like if performance, it's just basically like if y'all like it, then y'all just keep rolling with it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't think performance has ever been like a goal overall. I think it's always like if the video, it's about more so making something you're proud of. I think that's always the biggest thing, is like we want to make something that's, when I say like people enjoy it, it's more like literally like some people enjoy it. Like it's not so much like there's a success metric we're aiming for. It's more so like if we post it and the first 10 comments are like, this is awesome, like that's good enough for me. Like I'm happy. Like,
that's so interesting.
That's
but
cool.
That's so interesting. There's so many like obviously content and businesses that are like statistically based, and I think that like contributes to why the company works, is because like we're all focused on the same thing and it's not statistically based. It's more of a feeling than a science.
I think which is content low key. I feel like there's a lot of people who, I mean, at the end of the day, like why do you do this? Like why do you do these interviews? What made you want to do this?
It's fun.
Yeah,
and I'll take it.
Why it's like sometimes you don't need any more reason than that. It's like I think that's kind of the biggest thing, is like if we make something and we're like, hey, was that cool? Awesome, let's do it again. hey, was that cool? Yeah, it was cool, but it was kind of hard. It's like, oh, okay, well, maybe let's pivot it next time. Like, I think it's always just about the baseline of like, did we make something cool?
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
that's the decider.
Yeah. And how do you make sure that you're improving as an editor or at your job in general?
I think for me, it's all about trying to just pick up as much as I can whenever I can. Like for a long time, I would just kind of make whatever videos I could, and then I started getting more into camera work. So I wanted to learn more about coloring, and after coloring, I want to learn more about like more fluid animation. It's like kind of just this
staying curious.
Yeah, like if I make a video and I'm like, oh, this felt weak, okay, let me improve on it next one, and let me improve on it here. It's like little changes all along the way eventually build up to something better. I think that was like something that happened to me with the France video that I made. It was like I made a couple videos before that, and they, you know, I was proud of them, but I didn't feel like I was making anything too crazy advanced in terms of editing. And then I think I noticed that like in the France video, it wasn't some crazy, unbelievable video I made, but there was just like small improvements that I remembered in the past. I'd be like, I didn't really know how to do this, that I've now learned just from researching it and figuring it out and improving little by little. So that's like a cool metric of success. Same with like tip to tip. There was like the first time it was kind of hard to make all the maps and track and keep things together. And I noticed this time there was new challenges, but the things that were a little bit hard last year were kind of more fluid this year that I think you just improve on naturally, just consistently working on your craft. I think eventually it just gets better. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fire. I don't want to halt your progression. Like, I don't want you to obviously learn as much as possible, get as good as you can. But like the feeling of the videos you edit, the feeling of them, like it feels like, I don't know, there's like authenticity to it, and their editing style fits so perfectly with like the vlog type, like with the tip to tip, with like G2 Explore, and you just getting better. And you can see the progression as an editor watching on Ludwig channel. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, man. It's going great.
I appreciate that, dude. Thank you.
Of course. And is there anything that you like to do outside of the streaming space?
Yeah, I like to watch different movies and shows, and I watch a lot of anime, and I watch
Me too.
A bunch of random stuff like that. I play RuneScape. You play old school RuneScape? Gotta get on that, dude. That's a good game.
No, I might. I just might.
No, yeah. It's you know, some pretty basic stuff.
That's cool. Anything that like, nah, that's fine. All right, lastly, what's your favorite thing about the creator space?
I think my favorite thing about the creator space is the universe where it creates like the ability for anyone to make anything, and for anyone to discover anything, and for anyone to find a community in anything. And I think the fact that if you wanted to watch a production or like the GP Explorer race or whatever you wanted to watch, like if there was something you wanted to watch 20 years ago, you had to find it on TV or go to a movie theater or hope that there was something that was in a line with what you're interested in. But now if there's something you want to watch, you can search any term on YouTube at all, and you'll find 1,000 videos based around that. And I think, yeah, like the freedom of expression and creation to make literally anything you want is like the unbeatable part about content creation. Yeah.
And it's like the future of video, like obviously movies. Like, you know, you got to get picked up by a studio, or you got to get back to like YouTube, pick up a camera, you got your phone, like you can create anything, and you'll get better, and you'll find people that'll love what you love. And it's just super fun.
It is very, very cool. What do you think is your favorite part about it?
Like as a YouTuber, favorite part is like the heights of like, I can be as creative and as expressive as I want. There's no right or wrong way to do anything. The community you can garner, you can find people that are like-minded, like you, and people that can grow with you. Like you can get new ideas, bring it to your YouTube or your stream, and then y'all could like bounce off each other. Just obviously providing escapism for a community is super nice. But YouTube is, I feel like, the most perfect career because obviously there's tons of money in it. You can be as creative as you want. And you look at Mogul Moves, if you want to own a business, you can. And there's nothing you can't do in content. It's a hard space. Like it's hard. Like there's a lot of people in here. A lot of great ideas have already been had, but a lot of great ideas also have not been had. So there's space for that. And nobody's you. So if you think of an idea authentically and originally, chances are it hasn't been done. If it has been done, you haven't done it. So that's as a creator, as a consumer. You can watch, like you said, you can watch literally anything about anything. And there's so many smart, educated people. Like the other day, I watched a video about how graphics shouldn't determine how good a game is by Juniper Dev, if you know, she's really good. By how graphics shouldn't determine how good a game is. And there's videos about developing games, and I will never do that in my life. But the video is so amazing, and the storytelling is so exceptional. So yeah, there's stuff like that, and YouTube's just perfect, man. I love YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Yep. That's it. All right. Thank you so much, Cam, for joining me.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. This has been an exceptional conversation. Wish you nothing but the best. You've gotten exponentially better at your career since the beginning to now, and I'm excited for what not just you, but of course you, but what Mogul has next and what Ludwig has next, and I'll be tuned in.
Hey, thanks. I'll be tuned into this, man. I wish you the best. I appreciate you considering me to be on here. It's awesome to be. It's cool, man. I appreciate it.
Of course, you're more than up to standard. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. This has been Most Famous, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.